Guys, it's after Labor Day. And you know what that means, right? 2 words. Cuffing season. Are you prepared? Guys, your balls have been through enough this past year. Make sure you're keeping things as safe and as fresh as possible with our boys over at Manscaped. Listen, they just released the Performance Package 4.0. And trust me, it's worth the wait. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. This trimmer is insane and dare I say the greatest ball trimmer ever. Yeah, I said it. It also includes the Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, which provides proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs in those delicate areas. The package also includes the performance boxer briefs and a travel bag to hold all your goodies. Guys, Manscaped is the leaders in male grooming for great reason, and they're gonna be taking great care of us. Go to manscaped.com/MTR to receive 20% off plus free shipping. That's 20% off and free shipping. What are you waiting for? Because trust me, your balls will thank you. So what do you disagree with?
There's been a lot of comments I see about the whole single mother thing. And me and my significant other has had a talk about this as well, about how a lot of the manosphere, Kevin Samuels or whatever, from what me and my significant other watch, has a lot to do about how they're less of an option. I guess you could consider it as that, or, you know, because they either come with too much of like a baggage or whatever the case may be. And one of the comments were like, you know, let's talk about, you know, single fathers, you know, because I feel like it can go both ways as well. And how I see it is, I don't think that single mothers are less of an option. I don't really understand what less of an option is when the world is so big. And of course, we all know that anybody can be with anybody. They're going to find someone regardless to be with because of how big our world is.
Maybe not. You don't have a single ass auntie?
No, I don't actually.
Most of us do. Most of us have the aunties that are single into perpetuity.
And I guess that's what I'm trying to, maybe I'm not understanding what less of an option is, because how I feel like, again, with the World Wide Web and with everything, you know, you can find anybody in the world.
Well, let me try to describe it like this. Most women want the top 15 to 20% of men. Okay?
Okay, so this is a high value man type thing.
This is most women. Most women, from a genetic perspective, from an evolutionary biology perspective, want the best that they can get, which makes sense because being able to get the best that you can solidifies your security, solidifies your safety, security and safety from the idea of the man has enough money that he has made in order to provide those things for you in adequate amounts. For example, if I don't make a lot of money, I might got to live in the hood. There's no way you can be your most feminine if we both live in the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all hear gunshots once per week, right?
Correct.
There's no way. You got to move incredibly differently, right?
Correct.
So because you're not in your most feminine, then you are not as happy as what you ultimately can be. So from an evolutionary biology perspective, this is what has happened time and time and time again. So if you're going for the top percentage of men, but the top percentage of men work extremely hard to get into their particular positions in life, building up their kingdom, then they have the pick of the litter. And the thing is like, I think a lot of people get misconstrued because you can have sex with a top 20% man, right? You can attract a top 20% man, but are you keeping a top 20% man? And that's the biggest issue. That's what leads to single ass aunties, right? Every other, barbecue, they come through and they might bring another dude through, you know what I'm saying? Then the next barbecue is a different dude. And you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what leads to it. Or there's never, a ring pronounced in those situations, right? So again, You got women that are creating an extra barrier or an extra hurdle for men to overcome, right? But a man who has his options or the pick of the litter can choose someone just as, and let's assume that she's a great option. Let's say she's feminine, she's submissive, she's cooperative, right? To your example, there's so many women in the world. So that man can find a woman that has femininity, submissiveness, agreeableness, cooperative, can inspire, can cook, but also doesn't have the baggage of children. So then it's an economic equation. Would he rather choose the woman with baggage or without baggage? What do you think?
Okay, so yes, when you're talking about the high value man, I could see where he would not want to deal with somebody with baggage. And maybe I'm arguing, and this is from my standpoint, I guess I consider myself like an average woman. So I guess I'm fighting on that stance. It's like,
Okay.
I don't see how an average single mother couldn't find another average single man, and who has children as well, and they can, and I may be fighting from that standpoint because I'm not understanding, because like me, I don't want nobody who's in the top percent. So I'm also just
I'm with you. So here's the thing, and here's the part of the equation that I think is probably a little bit lost, is that a lot of times within the sector, we go over a lot of content of the pure delusion that exists. And there's a lot of the delusion that exists within modern women today because of the rap songs, the media, the entertainment, that the pandering, that right, like that gets pushed into their eyes. So much that you get a woman who's a 3 that thinks of themselves as a 10. And you're laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about. So if you think that you're a 10, right, and you're 5'2", 227 pounds, and you have a child, right, like it's just, you have to bring yourself down to a degree of reality and then settle for whatever is in your range. I think that similar to, I think similar to like signing up for like, or getting hired for a job or position, right? Like if I am just a new graduate from undergrad, I'm not going to expect to make $300,000 per year, right? At my first job at a school. I'm going to expect, depending upon what my major is, or depending upon how many years of schooling that I have done, depending upon my previous work experience, I'm going to have an idea of what I'm worth. And my argument is that there's a lot of modern ladies today that have been lied to regarding their worth. And I think one of those is the idea of having a child out of wedlock. And then what does that actually do? Because they get this information placed into them of, it's strong. It's like a valiant thing that they're doing, right? Or that it was the man's fault. Well, he should have wore a condom, right? So like all of these different things. Meanwhile, if women have most of the choices and options of different contraception, they have a choice of the A word during the pregnancy, and they also have the choice of adoption after the pregnancy, right? But the man is not in any of those decisions after conception. He's not in any of those decisions. So both of y'all had sex under the idea that this was just going to be fun, but a baby came out of that. But he didn't want to be a father, right? But then still to utilize the governmental shit after that to alleviate the burden or to take away the accountability. And then on Father's Day, you get called being a strong mother on Father's Day, right? Like there's a system put into place that seems to pander. And what I'm saying is that there needs to be a burning platform created so that young men and young women can make more accurate decisions with their bodies.
And like you said, it just boils down to knowing that if you're either average or looking or whatever the case may be, don't really follow like social media standards of getting a high value man when you know that you aren't really doing that or making that money yourself, or you look the way that you look. That does make sense. We've talked about that as well.
Yeah. So is it more clear to you now? My position? Okay. And I saw it when you started laughing, I'm like, okay, she's got it now. She knows exactly what I'm talking about.
The Megan Thee Stallions and her, 8-figure rich, and then a lot of the girls are following that, but then they don't really look like that and can't really pull a man that's making,
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
lot
So,
that's
so
put into our young women that shouldn't be put into our young women's brain, for sure.
exactly. And they get fed a lot of things that they think is attractive, like, right, like me, for example. And it might be attractive to certain dudes that are sliding up in their DMs, but like, I'm not a DM slider, right? Like, I've established too much value within myself to like go and DM slide and leave squirt emojis. And so they do certain things and then they get the visual indications that they're doing something good. But for the
Mhm.
guys that they actually want, they don't want that shit. Like, valuable dudes don't want women with BBLs, right? Like
Mhm.
they don't want the fake this, the Nicki Minaj hair, the nails that are, the eyelashes that is you can't even kiss
The
them without the
bullshit.
eyelashes. Yeah, like you blow you away. That's funny. And I'm
These
just like, damn, like
eyelashes.
listen, to me, like being conservative with your body on the gram is goddamn attractive. That's goddamn attractive to
And a
me.
lot of women don't believe in that nowadays.
They don't believe in that.
They give their body, yeah.
So
It's yeah.
there it is.
There it
Yeah,
is.
there it is. All
Well,
right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I appreciate the conversation. All right.
thank you, MTR. Thank
All
you.
right. Peace.